All right, people, here we are. How did we go to 20 seconds that fast? Did I miss something? Okay. Anyway, what is behind this Roe v. Wade stuff? And we're going to talk about this regarding this Constitution, you see. And I'm going to give my 2 cents on it here. So, welcome to New Justice Media, Media Mike Radio, the Hot Mike Speaks, and the Media Mike Speaks. So, I am your host, the Media Mike Speaks here. Check out my other two channels, the Hot Mike Speaks and New Justice Media. So anyway, let's get to this. Let's talk about the Constitution real quick, and then I'll give you my 2 cents on the reason why all this is going on. Now, just in case you did not know, the first 10 amendments to the Constitution is referred to as the Bill of Rights. We all know about the First Amendment, freedom of speech, even though that's slowly somewhat going away. So, number 2, the right to keep and bear arms. I did do a video on New York State being overturned by the U.S. Supreme Court, and it needed to be. Why? Because it violated the U.S. Constitution. See, the reason why Clarence Thomas said what he said, because it was in clear-cut violation of the U.S. Constitution. Now, I don't know what took them so long. They did give New York State time and time again to correct the error, but they got arrogant, I guess, and it's time. Now, I think Clarence Thomas was the lead judge on this, and that's why everybody's coming for him, because he was the lead judge. Well, you know, it's 9 of them, and it's 6, I do believe. Yeah, 6-3. They voted to overturn New York State. So if you're going to talk about the lead judge, talk about the other 5 also. So, because the people had a constitutional right to keep and bear arms inside or outside the home. The abortion thing is nowhere in the Constitution. There was no argument. Check out my video I did on that on the Media Mike Speaks on the truth behind Roe v. Wade, and you'll see what I'm talking about, which everyone knows. So everyone is just really crying to cry. That's what I believe. They're just crying to cry. So none of this makes any sense. Amendment 3, this is peacetime. It's not the Civil War, so nobody is confiscating anybody's land, cattle, so anyway. 4th Amendment, we all know the right to be secure in your persons. Now, I think they tried to use this argument in 73 of the reason why the woman's right to have, an abortion, because, hey, they can say, look, hey, this is what's going on here. And I need to have the right to be secure within my body, I guess. I think. I'm not sure. But if they didn't, there was no argument. 5th Amendment, we all know the right, self-incrimination. You see, when it comes down to the Miranda warnings, the 6th Amendment, the right to have the assistance of counsel. See, all of these things, they're in the United States Constitution. So even though they did not exist in the states back then, the federal government can impose what is in the United States Constitution onto the states. But being that anything dealing with abortion was nowhere in the U.S. Constitution, what were they thinking? I don't know. So, 6th Amendment, we just talked about. 7th Amendment deals with civil suits. 8th Amendment, let's talk. Do you have a constitutional right to bail? Do you? Do you see it here? No, you do not. You do not have a constitutional right to bail. That is nowhere in the U.S. Constitution. Now, you have a state right to bail. That's left up to the states. Going back to the abortion deal, it was always left up to the states. But this is not in the U.S. Constitution. It only says excessive bail should not be required. No excessive fines imposed. Meaning they cannot say your bail is $100,000 because you stole a Hershey bar. That's unconstitutional. They can't do that. You see? But you do not have a constitutional right to bail. It's nowhere in the U.S. Constitution. You have a state right to bail because look, if you had a right to bail, then it couldn't be denied. You see, state says bail can be denied if you are a flight risk, a danger to yourself and others, or you commit a capital offense. That's what's usually written in most states' constitution. But as far as a federal constitution, you do not have a federal constitutional right to bail. It doesn't exist. Look, you don't see it. People don't read. As simple as that. Or they just witching the witch, bitch to bitch. I don't know. So let's go to slide 10 here. As we all know, this is dealing with what? The certain rights clarification of U.S. citizens. This is going to be real good dealing with the voting thing in New York. So, and I think they may have used the Ninth Amendment. And you see here, the Ninth Amendment gives the clarification that U.S. citizens have far more rights than those currently listed, and that their absence doesn't diminish their importance. So, I don't know if we're dealing with that right to vote. They just struck down that New York voting law that said that if you are not a citizen, you could vote. They just said, "Oh, I'm sorry, you got to become a citizen to vote." Things are changing. Things are changing. So here we are on the 10th Amendment. So we're not going to too much worry about it. But this is what I want y'all to know here. Well, actually, we can look at this. The 10th Amendment is an attempt to separate federal and state law, where the federal government only has the powers assigned to it via the United States Constitution. The states have power over everything else. Okay, here we are. Same thing. And this is what they probably use. Abortion was a state mandate. That's up to the states. That's what happened Roe v. Wade. He said, I didn't have enough money to go to California. Well, if you have enough money to have an abortion, you have enough money to go to California. I'm just saying, I don't know. But look, let me give you my opinion here. It's not in the U.S. Constitution. I'm just saying that, repeating myself again. And the Supreme Court in 73 interfered with the states. They did. They erred. And they have been trying to rectify the error for the past 40 or so years. As I stated, it's been left up to the states. What is the big fuss? California, like Illinois, is an open state. And to the best of my knowledge, has been that way for quite some time, even before Roe v. Wade, along with some other states. You see, this thing, in my professional opinion, is about money. That's all it is. The U.S. is dealing with a low birth rate, especially among Caucasian people. Second, the child support court is losing money. You see, the family court system is a business, people. Marriage is at an all-time low. Toys R Us closed a long time ago, along with Babies R Us. The diamond business is suffering. Zales and K Jewelers had to close around 150 stores. And also the bridal shops are taking a hit. Now, this issue does not pertain to individuals receiving public assistance. You see, that's based on if you have children. This is based on those who work and have careers with money. As I stated before, marriage is at an all-time low. And if the person who contribute or persons to the system the most are not getting married and having children, or they wait until a later date, or where, here we are. All in all, the Supreme Court worked the way it was supposed to. It erred and it corrected that error. Isn't that what we should want? Instead of doubling down, the U.S. Supreme Court rectified the situation. That's where we are. People are just cutting up to cut up. You could travel back then to go somewhere else. What is the problem here? It is not in the U.S. Constitution. End of. Anyway, that's just my rant. I just want to come up here and hopefully to explain some things to you all here. Hopefully we can get some clarity here, and hopefully this will die down. But it is what it is. It is what it is. So until next time, stay up, stay right, and have a good night.